welcome to Advanced Ball Striking. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the pressures in your hands when you're hitting a golf ball. There's a difference in the pressures between hitters and swingers, so it's important to take note of this. A swinger is going to load the shaft at transition, flex the shaft, put a lot of pressure on the shaft coming down. Doesn't mean they're throwing it with their hands, it'll still be lagging the club down, but the pressure that they're feeling is the tug of the shaft away from them. That's centrifugal force, as if you were to grab the club head and pull it away from me. Feel the weight of the head pulling away from you this way, okay? Now a hitter is going to feel that also, but they're adding a secondary pressure, and one that's extremely important for ball control. And that's the pressure that's exerted on this back side of the shaft here. If I take this shaft and I press it against this board, you can see if I flex it, I can feel a lot of pressure in my hand. My right hand, I feel it on the right index finger and into my other fingers as well. Okay, you can just do that and you'll feel where you feel the pressure in your hands. Same thing with the left hand. I'm going to feel that in these back fingers. And we want to feel that in both hands. If I put both hands on the club, I can now feel that in both hands. I feel the pressures here and here. And this is a pressure that's being exerted on this side of the shaft. For swingers, that pressure doesn't exist. Okay, it exists at transition. They're going to feel the change in direction. They're going to feel that pressure on the shaft. But as they come down, they're going to lose that pressure, and they're going to lose the sensation of where the club face is. And that's why swingers have more trouble with accuracy than hitters. I'm saying good swingers, good hitters. Okay. The advantage of hitting is that we're bringing this pre-stressed club shaft into the strike. We're holding shaft flex, and we can tell exactly where the club face is. If I press into this board, I can tell if my face is open or if my face is closed. But if I don't have this pressure, then I don't really know where it is. It's kind of a guess. And that's where a swinger would try and solve that problem with timing, trying to time the closing of the shaft through balance and rhythm and a smooth swing, and hope that this club face that's stressed as it comes down is then going to close. It's kind of a guess. There's days where it's on and there's days where it's off, but I don't like days where it's off, so I eliminate that by being a hitter. I'm never going to hit the ball too bad being a hitter, because I know where the club face is at impact, because I can feel where it is because I'm applying the pressure on the right side of the grip here. So this is everything that we teach in Advanced Ball Striking in both our classes. In the Advanced Ball Striking modules and the Hogan modules, we focus a lot on creating these pressures in our hands so that we can get an awareness, a spatial awareness of where the club face is at impact. Now, a lot of people are overly concerned about club head speed. Okay, well, I could come in at 120 miles an hour to impact and not have this pressure at all, and not know where the club face is at. So you can just turn the TV on any weekend and watch the guys on tour. They're hitting the ball all over the place with their drivers. And that's why, because they're not feeling the pressure in their hands. They don't know where the club face is on the driver. They've created too much speed early. If they're starting at 0, and right here they're at 30 miles an hour, and right here they're at 80 miles an hour, and right here they're at 110 miles an hour, and right here they're at 120 miles an hour, but right here at impact, acceleration, not speed, acceleration has reached 0. In other words, the club's no longer accelerating. Say it reaches 120 miles an hour right here. If it's at 120 miles an hour right here, it's a big 0 on acceleration. Okay. Ball control, you want to be accelerating the club into the strike so that you can maintain an awareness of where the club face is at impact, so that you can control the ball properly. So this is one of the things that's overlooked. Nobody's talking about it, but I'm talking about it right now. You have to apply pressure on the back side of the shaft through the strike. Hogan talked about this. He said he felt that he reached maximum velocity 18 inches or so past the ball, which would mean he's feeling that he's accelerating through the strike, which means he's feeling exactly where the club face is at impact. Because if he's feeling it past the strike, then he's certainly feeling it at impact. Okay. So this is what we work on through all the different techniques, from training with impact bags and the different module work that we do to train our students how to maintain shaft flex and put that pressure, that lifeblood of the strike, into the hands at impact, so that we can feel where the club face is, but also where the club head is. So the pull on the shaft really is having more to do with your low point control, whether you're hitting thin shots or fat shots. That's a lot of this feeling here, and we need to feel that. But the club face awareness is that pressure on the back side of the shaft. And it gets into more too, because the ball is going to react differently if it's being hit with a pre-stressed club shaft. That shaft, if it's stressed back, it's now reached its maximum stiffness, okay? And when it hits the ball, it's going to really resist the forces of impact and send that ball rocketing off the club. There's a kind of a fallacy that stiffer shafts lead to shorter distances. But this isn't true as a hitter. Now, as a hitter, if I'm bringing the club in at say 100 miles an hour, 105 miles an hour, and I've lost shaft flex, then when the ball hits that shaft, there's going to be more wobbling of that shaft, okay, because of the distortion in the shaft from the impact. If I bring in a pre-stressed club shaft traveling at that same speed, that ball is going to hit the club, and everything's going to be a lot tougher and stiffer working through the strike. So it's going to give the ball a more piercing flight this way. And the scientists can argue about this all they want, but I'll tell you what, it's absolutely true. And when you listen to the strike of a great hitter, it's a different sound. And of course it's a different sound, because the physics of the impact is different, which would lead to a different sound. People talk about Hogan having a different sound. Well, it did have a different sound. I make a different sound hitting the golf ball now than I did when I didn't do these things. Okay. So anyway, just a little bit on that today, to talk about these pressures in the hands at impact and how that feels on the club. And it's something that we need to strive for. And I'll just say one thing here, that dealing with impact bag, yes, if I have the impact bag here and I come in, I can feel that pressure. But if I have come down too fast, so I've got pressure at transition, and then I've lost the pressure here, and I get it back because there's a collision, well, it's good that we feel that pressure, but it's bad that we lost it here. So in the advanced ball striking course, we teach how to not lose it here, how we develop the pressure, we build the pressure, we build acceleration into the strike so that we never lose the shaft flex, and we continue to stress it all the way to the strike and beyond. That's it for today. We'll see you next time.